In this video, I want to share something with you. I want to share a thought with you that is disturbing to a lot of people. And that thought is this: your life and nothing has any meaning except the meaning that you give it. Think about that for a moment. Your life has no meaning, and anything in your life has no meaning except the meaning that you give it. And when I say it's disturbing to a lot of people, it's because so many people have so much meaning attached to so much in their life. Whether it be politics or certain social things or family or money or whatever it is. Here's what I want to share with you is that, and I've said it, I'm going to say it several times in this video, nothing, and by the way, when you get this, when you truly come to know what I'm sharing with you right now, your life will change. Nothing in your life has any meaning except the meaning that you give to it. Many years ago, I have a degree in political science and psychology, and in the early 90s, I worked at the Carter Presidential Center on Jimmy Carter's executive staff. And I wanted a job that was the assistant to his chief of staff. A friend of mine said to me, he goes, if you get that job, that's great. And if you don't get that job, that's also great. And I didn't understand at that point because I really wanted the job. Well, I didn't get the job, and the reality is that I would not be doing today, talking to you right now and helping the people that I help, had I actually gotten that job. So I could have put different meanings on it. I could have put a meaning like, well, this really sucks. I didn't get this job. My life's ruined. It's not going the way that I want it to go. Or I could have put the meaning on it that I did, which was, well, this happened for my higher good. It happened so that perhaps this isn't my path over here, and I'll find a different path. Now, let me give you a really simple example that's very prevalent in the United States right now in our culture about how nothing has any meaning except the meaning that you give it. And this happens every 4 years. So back in 2016, what meaning did you give to Donald Trump winning the presidency? Consider that for a moment. What meaning did you give? And right now, as you're watching this, you're thinking, well, that's amazing that he won, or you're thinking, that sucks that he won, right? Now let's look at Hillary Clinton. What meaning did you give to Hillary Clinton losing the presidential election? And you watching right now, you could say, well, that is amazing that she lost, or it really sucks that she lost. What I want you to get here is this, by that demonstration, is notice how you gave meaning, and you could also say, well, I don't care at all, it doesn't matter to me at all, which means you're also given meaning. So notice something externally in the world happened, and because something externally happened, you gave it meaning. So what I want to ask you in this video is, what meaning do you give to things that happen, either things that work for you or things that do not work for you? So what's obvious at this point is, first off, I didn't start the video with this, is that most people, and if this applies to you, you're what I call a wandering seeker, is that you're wandering through life and you're looking for meaning in everything. But I think what's obvious by this point right now is that your entire life, no matter what happens to you, is a matter of interpretation. Whether you get the job, you don't get the job. You get married, you don't. You have kids, you don't. You make money, you don't. Is all simply a matter of interpretation. But what a lot of people do is they take that interpretation and then it doesn't work for them. And it's a whole different video, and I'll cover it later at some point. But then they go into unhappiness because the life doesn't have the meaning that they've ascribed to it, and that meaning is completely external. The point of me shooting all these videos, and you've heard me say it before, you've heard me use the words conscious transformer. The point of me shooting these videos is that I'm wanting to assist you to become a conscious transformer. And what that means is that we get off autopilot. Let me back up here. I want you to notice something. Do you notice that even as you're watching this video, you're making interpretations about it? Quite literally, you are actually making stories and interpretations about what you hear me saying and how it applies to your life. But for most people, prior to learning this, they go through their life on autopilot. That's why it's so vital that me, you, all of us, we become conscious transformers. So in that moment, in that space, we can actually take and have greater influence on our life as opposed to just running around like robots and working on autopilot. I said just a couple of minutes ago, and I want to reiterate this again, and if you're not driving and you're somewhere where you can write this down, I want you to write this down, and I want you to put it somewhere that you can see it every day. And I don't want you just to write it down for the sake of that. I want you to write this down so that you can truly become a conscious transformer. And that is this phrase: nothing has any meaning except the meaning that I give it. Now, next time something happens to you, and notice in the past you might have given it a negative meaning or a bad meaning, or you don't like this, but stop in that moment and recognize that whatever happened to you has no meaning except the meaning that you're giving it. And if you're giving it a meaning that doesn't work for you, what I want you to also recognize, and it's very powerful, is that you are stuck because of the meaning that you're giving something. So everything in your life that hasn't been working for you, and all the places you've been stuck, and your health and your wellness and your job and a lack thereof, is simply because of one thing. It's the meaning that you've been giving those things. Now, in this video, we actually just touched on it here a bit, but what I want to do is I want to actually dig and take you a lot deeper into this on a podcast episode. So click the link here and I'll catch you over on the podcast.